Lobster is a delicacy in most places, but in New England, it's a way of life. Lobster has fueled our economy and carved itself into our history, but there has been a ripple in the past time. The growth of the lobstering economy is viewed differently by many people in the industry. We spoke with 3 lobstermen who have varying opinions on the economic growth of lobstering.
It's grown over the 55 years that I fished.
The lobster business is kind of like the stock market. You kind of need to know when to buy, when not to buy. Don't over inventory.
It's been a little bit off the last few years. Bait is at a very high premium to buy the bait for the traps, so your expenses are up, your landings are off, and your price for your catch is off. So it's a worry for these young guys. A lot of guys aren't investing in new boats and things. That's part of they're hanging on with to see what happens, to see if it's a cyclic thing. Lobsters have always been somewhat cyclic. You know, as to the landings, you'd have 5 or 6 or 7 of phenomenal years, and then it would taper off a little bit, and it would be mediocre for a few years, then it would come up again.
People young and old take part in lobstering, and the lobstermen we spoke to had their own thoughts on how the times have changed with the different age groups.
I'd say a lot of older guys are retiring out of the industry, and there isn't an influx of young kids coming in.
But these guys work very hard. They have a lot of traps, and they really push much more than the old timers did in the old days. 200 traps was a big, I'm talking, say, in the 60s and 70s, even before that. To have 200 lobster traps out there fishing was a lot of traps. Now all these guys have permits for up to 800, and most of them fish at least 600.
It is evident that global warming is affecting the location of lobsters and where lobstermen have to go to get their catch. Here's what the lobstermen had to say about this issue.
Definitely has declined. I know a lot of people are saying that cod and lobsters are pushing more north.
People feel they're moving a little bit more to the east, you know, seek a little colder water.
There has been years where we have to minorly change location and choose other better locations for the time being.
It's a little difficult right now. Everybody is a little, tentative and nervous as to what's going on with the whole spectrum of things.
Lobster is certainly a delicacy, and there appears to still be a high demand. But is this demand enough to keep the industry thriving? We asked our lobstermen about their opinions on the future of the industry.
I think as the years go on, as long as global warming and other factors of the weather and everything keep the same, it should keep going up.
Guys are still catching enough to make a living, I'd say. Definitely there's still a lot of demand for lobsters, and there always will be.
Has a certain thrill to it, You never know what's going to be in that next trap.
When you're waiting on rock stars, I can't wait until this day is done.